Welcome. Addictions. This is a big emotional issue all across the board. Many years ago, I say 2001, um, I was doing seminars here in Oklahoma City, and they wanted weight loss. And I was not slightly interested in weight loss because it's easy to lose weight. You just don't eat so much, right? Well, I started doing these seminars on weight loss, and to come to find out, I discovered how addictions work. Food is an addiction. And so usually most people don't realize this, that addiction is not a problem. We look, it's not the cheesecake, the cookies, it's not the heroin, it's not the meth, it's not the cigarettes, it's not the cocaine, it's not the gambling as the problem, because an addiction, you're running to something. This addiction is trying to solve a solution, solve a problem. Now that's the key. Because when I started working with people with weight loss, why do you eat? Well, because it makes me feel good, because I need love. I have love connection with mama and grandma who would feed me cookies, cakes, and ice cream, popcorn. But what is the system that drives you to use things outside you to escape what's inside you? That's the key. Because when we have emotional programming, clean your plate, or else you won't get down from the table. You're going to eat your peas. If you don't eat your peas, you'll be eating them the rest of your life. So here it is. This is what drives us as pain. I started working in, doing the weight loss, and I really figured out the mental mechanics behind addictions. It has nothing to do with the substance, but reason why you do it. Now, granted, you're going to eat some chocolate chip cookies. You're going to do some heroin, cocaine, cigarettes, meth, gambling, sexing, whatever it is. There is pleasure there too. But that's not what drives you. What drives you is the stuff inside you. Now, although I've been doing weight loss for years and years and years, I understand the system. In 2010 or maybe 2012, I went to a drug rehab. The first one is in Ireland. And of course, I did a presentation and I know how to change addictions. And then I go to Hawaii, Habilitat, which is, they have the same philosophy as I do. It's not a disease. It's not a mental issue. It is not a chemical problem. It's an internal issue. It's a decision. It's an emotional driving force. And so my purpose when I went there to drug rehabs is I wanted to figure out exactly why it is that we are addicted. What is it that drives addiction? Now, when you go to a drug rehab, we're talking about professionals, people who are really good at addictions. Like they could do all kinds of stuff, heroin, meth, cocaine, you name it. They've done it all. My number one question is, why are you addicted? Number one question, why are you addicted? The answers are pretty much the same. I just want to feel better. I'm tired of feeling bad. I want something better. I want to numb the pain. I want to escape my world. That's why they're addicted. Now, again, remember, if you have positive emotional associations to cookies, heroin, cocaine, whatever it is you use, that becomes the escape. Life is bad. Life is horrible. You want some way out? You go find your way out. I call this escapeaholics or avoidaholics. You're trying to avoid what's inside you and you're looking for anything outside you to numb this pain. That's the driving force. Sometimes we have emotional trainings to do things. Like I said, clean your plate. People in China are starved to death. You're a good boy, you're a good girl. Now you get dessert because you cleaned your plate. All of these are emotional trainings. But when life is really bad, where do you go? So here it is. I'm in drug rehab now, and I'm working on people. And one of the things is the guys who come back to the drug rehab because they screwed up, I said, what was it that occurred that made you go back to using? And this answers is pretty much the same. My dog died. My girlfriend left me. I got fired. My grandma died. I just tired. My life was boring. I need something to do. I thought maybe I'll just try one. Maybe it'll help me. That's how they go back. Now, the biggest problem with addictions is if you don't know how to change the driving force, which is pain, hurt, and want to escape. This is how addictions work. Now, again, remember, it's not a disease. It's not a disorder, and you're not broken. So I'm doing a presentation in I don't know if it's Sutton Cohill in England. But I was invited to do a presentation at several drug rehabs. And after it's all over, we're all sitting around and they say, we need this. We need what you teach. Because it seems like they come in our treatment center, out our treatment center, into another treatment center, into another treatment center, and then back into ours. So the cycle keeps going around. And so why isn't it working? Because it isn't a chemical problem. It is an emotional conditioned problem. And it's not even a problem. Addiction is an escape. So this young 25-year-old kid sitting in front of me, and she's been in 25 drug rehabs, 25 drug rehabs. The day she gets out, boom, she's back in the drugs, right? Back in the drugs. And I asked her, I said, what is it that drives it? Why are you using drugs? What happened? What event occurred? And she said, I never told anybody this. I said, what is it? She goes, it was my 12th birthday, and my dad's Hispanic, and we did a big party at a hotel. Big party, right? And we had all kinds of friends and funs, and I went to sleep, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I was raped. I couldn't tell anybody, she said. If I told my dad, he'd probably go to jail too. He'd kill somebody. So I kept it inside. Now, here's the problem. This girl was making straight A's in school. She was a cheerleader. She's doing all the great things. Great kid. From that point forward, everything went downhill. Now she's hanging around people who do drugs and sex and stuff. When I asked each one of these individuals, why is it? It's always something similar. Now, here's another question. I said, has any of these drug rehabs, because you can watch my videos, you can go to Nick, type in Nick on my YouTube channel. So here it is. I go to these, these guys to go drug rehab, and I ask them, I say, has any of these drug rehabs ever show you how to change memories attached to drugs? No. Has any of them showed you how to change how you feel about yourself inside yourself? No. Has any of them showed you how to dislike and hate or not even want drugs? No. But what do? You can ride horses, you can talk about stuff. Talking about stuff, riding horses, knitting and swimming and laying on the beach does not change the number one driving force behind addictions. And what is the driving force? Memories and references. Memories. If you can't change the cause of your addiction, which is memory, emotional connections, positive feel goods, you will never solve the problem. Relapse is no mystery, because here it is. If you go to AA or NA or any AAAA, and they do not teach you that you are a powerful person and it's your power that is driving your addiction, they're going to say it's the drug that does it. You're blaming the drug, the sex, the alcohol, the food, the chocolate chip cookies. That's the problem. It is not the problem, because see, you can have a room full of all the addictive substances in the world. And when you walk in that room, the only ones that you will be attracted to or get excited about are the ones that you already have inside you. It's our internal representations. And so what I do is I bring the addicts in. I ask them several questions. Are you addicted? They go, yes. I said, how you know? I love drugs. I said, oh, okay. I said, and so I do mental tests to say, okay, I want you to think about a drug. I want you to remember a time you got really high. Just close your eyes and go back and visit and remember. And I said, how strong is this high now? From 0 to 10, it's a 7 or an 8 or even a 10. They got beads of sweat across their head. Now we're talking about mental drugs, no real drugs. It's programmings. And then I go, all right, so it's a 9 or a 10. I write it down. I said, okay. Now I never used drugs. Never, right? Maybe an aspirin, right? And so I go, I don't know how to use drugs. And so you use meth or heroin. They go, yes. I said, I want you to do this. On your lap is a table, just pretend. And on this table are your drugs. All I want you to do is reach down, just do what you got to do to get high. Just act it out. And they start acting it out. And guess what? Sweat beads of sweat, and they're sweating, and they can actually feel the addiction feeling inside. No drugs involved. It's all mental. So it becomes a mental process. And I say, okay, from 0 to 10, it's 10, not going to sweat off their face, or shaking or trembling. Some even cry. I said, okay. And I have a table right in front of them. And under the blanket or under the towel, the back towel, looks like drugs. It looks like meth, heroin, cocaine, vodka, whiskey. It's got a rolled up dollar. It's got, all it looks like real stuff. It's all fake. We pull it back. And I say, I want you to look at this. Which one draws you? 0 to 10, how strong? 10. Beads of sweat under their lip. They're shaking, some cry. I said, none of this is real. It's all fake. The cocaine is just powdered sugar. The meth is just rock candy, coffee, water in the jug. So here it is. It's all fake, but it seems real inside of them because neurologically it's written on the cells of their mind. And then what we'll do, I said, one more question I have. If you were free to go today, you're out on the streets, you had a bad day. A guy pulls up in a truck, and in the back of the truck is a lifetime supply of all the drugs you could ever use and sell. There's no gimmick. There's no tie. They give you the keys and the title of the truck. What do you do? Most of them said, I take the keys, and the others were lying because neurologically they have it inside. So we take them back and we do a session on them. Now, what we do in session is we go to the memories of why they drove themselves to drinking, drugging, etc. And we start adjusting, changing memories. Now, if you don't understand about neuroplasticity and the power of faster eutaptics and or Robert Gene, we go and make adjustments in memories. And as we change the memories, neurologically, the drug doesn't have an impact. Matter of fact, when they think about the memory that hurt them, it doesn't hurt them anymore. It doesn't mean anything. And by the time we're done, and I say, go ahead and move your hands, I said, it feels like nothing. I said, can you remember the high? No, I cannot. I said, look at the drugs. Does it seem anything? No. Now, the difference between what I do and others is this. I've been watching Gabor Mate. He speaks what I speak. I almost thought he was watching my videos. But the difference between him and I is I know how to change it now. And he talks of philosophy. It's the same philosophy. Addiction is a solution to a problem. What drives it is hurt and pain and misery from all sources. And of course, I show you to do it yourself. Of course, I do trainings all around the world. I have trainings online. I do it now. Matter of fact, you can go to my website, skillstochange.com. You can change yourself is the key. How to change yourself. Now, by the way, guys, if you come from a family of addictions and addicts, dad's a workaholic or a smokeaholic or a drinkaholic or whatever aholic he does, and you watch your mom and dad, they have no mental and emotional coping skills. None. Their basic coping skill is go work, don't think. Go eat, don't think. Go drink, don't think. Smoke, smoke, smoke. These are coping mechanisms. When you watch your family grow up and you see them all do this, you'll learn to be an escapeaholic too. This is a program. You're not broken and you're not screwed up. So the true key to changing yourself is to change the source. Now, of course, I've listened to all the guys, you name it, Gabor May. You talk about a lot of the great teachers out there teaching about how addictions work. But the key is most people do not know how to change the problem, which is memories. Memories is the number one cause. Joe Dispenza, great guy, great content, except who has 3 hours a day to meditate for 6 months to a year to change a problem? We can change a problem very quickly by addressing memory. He says, don't go look at the bad memories. Try to avoid, be happy, be positive. Don't think about the bad. But here's the problem. If you try to think about the bad, what is an addiction? Addiction says, I don't like what I feel, and I'm going to go over here, there to avoid my feelings. Now, that doesn't change the feelings because when you go over there and you meditate for 12 hours a day, or you eat or you eat a whole pie and a whole cake and drink a bottle of whiskey and smoke all the cigarettes in the world, you're feeling good while you're doing that, but it doesn't change the memory. Because while you're over there drinking, eating, smoking, whatever you're doing, the memory's still waiting for you when you come off of your hiatus of your stuff and you go right back to normalcy. Something triggers you. Guess where you're going? Eating, drugging, and all the other things. The key, the true key, is changing what is inside of thee, the memories and the references. This is the secret to ending all addictions. Not only does it end the addictions, but it builds personal power. Memories is a cause of all problems. Change the memories, you set yourself free. If you're going to a system that doesn't know how to change the neural information about the drugs, it doesn't know how to change the emotional reasons why you use drugs, and you're trying to escape with knitting, meditating, vegetating, smoking, drink, whatever it is that you try to avoid, it doesn't change memories. Memories is a cause. And you know what? When we start changing memories, you know what people say? If I change this memory, who will I be? And I will say, you'll be happier, you'll be more in control. And yes, you can go back if you want, but it will not be appealing. If you have an addiction, and everybody has escape mechanisms, trying to be positive when negative is inside you is only painting a picture. And it's only as good as you look at it. But when you go back to normalcy, that stuff takes over. That's that piece. Some people say the saboteur within, but it's not a saboteur. It's a survival mechanism inside you to keep you alive. And you found out drinking, eating, smoking, whatever you do to escape worked temporarily. So I'm for a permanent solution. And the permanent solution is knowing how to be in control of the self and changing and addressing your memories. So if you want something better, I can help you. I'm a trauma expert. I'm an addiction. I know how the brain works, and I can help you change yours. And you can live a life victoriously by taking control internally. This is Robert Smith. You can change yourself. Come learn how. And if you need a session, book one. I'll change your life. This is Robert Jean in the great state of Oklahoma. Learn to love yourself, like yourself from within yourself. Because what you do within you, you do to others. Make peace with yourself. This is Robert. Come check us out, skillsofchange.com, and come get some training. I'll change your life. All right. Good job. See you guys. Peace.